In this demonstration we're going to look at the Organize Publish functionality, and more specific the publishing of AutoCAD drawings. At the left hand side you can see my structure I'm using for this demonstration. The first site you're seeing is my source site containing the AutoCAD drawings. You can see the different content types here. The second site is my publish site. Of course we support different scenarios. In this demonstration I'm going to publish to a different site, but of course we also support the publishing to the same site or to the same document library even if you want to. The third site I have attached here is the Organize Batch Administration site, which is installed during the installation of the Organize Publish module. And there are some interesting libraries here. For example, the batch script files we are using to start AutoCAD and creating the DWF or the PDF file. If I open this document library, you see the different scenarios that are supported. Creating, for example, an e-transmit file. I hope you know what an e-transmit file is. It's a standard AutoCAD e-transmit, gathering all the information that a drawing is depending on, like the fonts, the different AutoCAD reference files, the image files, the font mapping file, etc., etc. So you're sure if you send that e-transmit that somebody can open the drawing the same way that you are opening it at your company. Of course we support the creating of PDF files. You see two different records because you could create one PDF from containing multiple pages, multiple layouts of an AutoCAD drawing, or you're just creating one PDF being one layout, or the model space layout if you want to. And of course the same for the AutoCAD drawing web format being the DWF file. Another interesting document library is the batch queue, and as you can see here there are already 3 records inside. I'm going to delete those because I want to show you that everything that is going on in the background is registered, is documented here inside this organized batch queue. Now let's start the process. If I go to my source site containing my source documents, document library, you see the different content types, and I told you I'm going to focus on the AutoCAD drawings. You see that some drawings are checked out, others are not checked out, and very important, I created a separate publish CAD view to show you only the relevant fields for this publish process. I already told you different documents are checked out because I want to talk to you about the different scenarios we support for publishing, triggering the publishing process. What I could do, I could create a custom metadata field and trigger on a specific value of that field, but we can also trigger the process by checking in a document. And we will support making a difference between a minor check-in and a major check-in. In this demonstration, the publish process workflow is only triggered by a major check-in. Now I added some columns because I want to show you all the different scenarios we support. So I've got a column for my PDF workflow, for creating the e-transmit workflow, and for creating the DWF. And you saw that I already did some publishing and they were all successful, because it's also possible that a publish fails, like you can see here. Now let's focus on this document. If I say right mouse button, check in, and again if I do a minor check-in, nothing happens. You can check in your document, make it available for your colleagues and start working on it again. But as soon as you do a major check-in and maybe add some commands to it, then he will trigger the 3 workflows I have attached to this document library. If I click OK, and I will refresh my list, then you will see that already one workflow is in progress, the other one is waiting for publishing, and if I do a refresh again by clicking using the right mouse button, you see that all workflows have been triggered, waiting for publish, publish started, etc., etc. So very important is that the user can now continue his work because everything, the complete publish process has been is continuing on a dedicated job server. Just by showing you that he created these jobs in the organized batch queue, you can see what is going on here for all the documents and all the different libraries that you have installed the publish process on. So you see that already one workflow is successful, one is running and one is waiting for you. And of course you can see the different workflow scenarios, PDF, transmit and DWF, and you can see the document that is running at this moment. And of course it's the same document because I started 3 different workflows on the same document. If I do a refresh, you will probably see that already 2 have been successful and 1 is still running. He's now creating the DWF file. So let's do a refresh again, and you see that's already ready. All the workflows have been finished. So if I go back to my source library where my native documents are at, and I select the document and do a refresh, you will see that the publish scenario indicates that the status of the workflow indicates that it has been correctly published. Now if I know that there are different files created for this specific document, I can always use my Publish tab to look at the different files that have been created. And from this tab I can see the date that has been created, but I can also see the file type that has been created. So if I click this PDF file, for example, this URL, it will open my Internet Explorer showing the published PDF file. But of course I can also go to my target library where the documents are automatically uploaded. And of course you can put different rights on this site, only giving, for example, giving external people access to this site. So they cannot access the native documents, but they can only look at the published target documents. And as you can see here, if you look at the date, the 3 documents are actually created inside the target document library. And of course, if I now double click on the DWF instead of the PDF file, you can see that the Autodesk Design Review is used to show the DWF file. And of course, Organize also supports the viewing of zip files, and I could even look at the native file from the compressed zip file. And you can see that AnyTransmit gathered all the information, the plotter device, the font mapping file, everything that the drawing is depending on. And actually this is a very simple drawing, because if it would contain external references, they would all be gathered inside the eTransmit file. Now, as you can see here, I showed you the published documents he just created, looking at the time and the date. What is also very important is that we inherit the metadata. If we look at the original document, we can look at the title, for example, which is exactly the same in the published file. If I go to my PDF, for example, you see that the metadata has been overtaken. And what is also very important is that there are specific publish metadata fields, like who created, who checked in the document, triggering the publish workflow, when was it created, and what is the source document, which is actually a hyperlink, so you can always jump to the original file if you want to. Now this concludes the demonstration of the publishing of AutoCAD drawings. I would like to see you again in the demonstration for Office documents.